hurt playing football?
Gary,
Get attacked by a stump. A stump. Jay, when that happens.
Thank you, Ron. Captain Lafreniere, thank you for being here. I understand you're employed by the City of Keene. Could you please tell the court how you were employed by the City of Keene?
Yes, I'm employed by the City of Keene Fire Department, and I had the job of fire prevention officer for about the last 18 years.
And could you please briefly describe to the court, please, what the duties are of the fire prevention officer?
Part of my duties as a fire prevention officer is fire inspections, applying the fire codes, city ordinances as they relate to the fire prevention activities.
Does that include such items as smoke detectors, sprinkler systems, fire alarm systems?
Yes, sir, it does.
And you're familiar with the life safety code?
Yes.
And you're familiar with state statute with respect to this issue?
Yes, I do.
And you're familiar with the city code?
Yes, as well.
Now, Captain Lafreniere, after May 6th or so of 2012, did you have reason to consult with Mr. Parcells regarding 75 Liberty Street?
Yes, the Keene Fire Department was provided information about activity going on there that may have included changing the use of the structure. It was listed as a 1- or 2-family home, as a duplex, and the owner being Mr. Ian Bernard Freeman, living in 73, and his tenants in 75.
As a single family or a two-family home, if there were no other information otherwise, would you have cause to inspect the property?
No, I would not.
In this particular instance, did you review evidence that was being provided to you by Mr. Parcells with respect to the property?
Yes, we did.
And I think you heard Mr. Parcells go through the administrative inspection warrant. Did you review the photographs that were included in that warrant?
Yes, I did.
Did you include review the other information that was included in the warrant, including the website post with respect to staying at the property?
Yes.
What conclusions, at least preliminarily, did you draw prior to going to the court for the administrative inspection warrant with respect to the use of the property?
That it's a possibility that the use was being changed from a 1- or 2-family home residence to some sort of lodging or boarding house.
Now, Mr. Freeman has represented that RSA 153 does not allow for the inspection of single-family, multifamily homes by the fire department. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that your understanding of the statute?
Yes.
Is it your understanding of the statute that if you have evidence to indicate that the property is not being used as such, are you prohibited from going into the property to inspect?
No, we have a process to do that by making a request, and in this case would have been an administrative inspection warrant because we were served a notice.
Now, Captain Lafreniere, are you also familiar with the document, turning your attention to page 3 of the document set? You have that in front
Is
of you?
that the no trespass
Yeah,
notice?
that's what I'm going to ask you. Are you
Yes.
familiar with that document?
Yes, I was provided a copy of that.
So was it your understanding at that point that you would not be able to go to the property to inspect it?
Correct.
Would that have been your usual course of action?
Yes, we would have attempted to make contact and inspect prior to obtaining a administrative warrant.
Now, in connection with the material that was presented to you through your discussions with Mr. Parcells, I believe you submitted an affidavit to the court, is that right, for the administrative inspection warrant?
Yes, we did.
And And could you tell us, tell the court what the basis of that affidavit was? If you'd like to take a look at it and review it, I'll give you an opportunity to do that. Yours appears at page, begins at page 8 of the document set.
Yes, I'm looking at that now. And part of it was our responsibility to ensure compliance of the state and local fire codes and regulations. If that was actually a new roof use lodging or apartment house or something.
So let me answer, so the affidavit basically, you say the affidavit that there's evidence that indicates a change of use. I think that's what you testified to, is that correct?
Yes.
From your perspective as the fire prevention officer, what would have been required if it were a lodging house or a tourist home?
Under new use, you would probably have a sprinkler system installed, and you'd probably have a full fire alarm system installed for those applications.
And do those require some permitting authority by the fire department?
Yes, they would.
Were you aware as to whether or not there was any permit issues with respect to those uses?
There was not for that location.
Would that have caused you concern?
Yeah, yes, it would, because there would be an indication that they did not exist.
Now, with respect to the city has a code in place with respect to fire suppression, fire issues as well?
Yes.
And we'll have to get into that a little bit down the line, but based upon your review of the information, you wanted to determine whether or not there was a fire code violation, is that correct?
Correct.
And from the no trespass order, you understood that you could not go to the property to inspect, is that correct?
Correct.
I don't have any questions.
I'm Mr. Attorney. So we've already determined you're familiar with RSA 153:14(2)A.
I don't know what the exact reference is.
I'm sure it's probably in some of this. I have an excerpt here with the court's permission. I'd like to read that. Negative. RSA 153:14(3)A. Can I read that into the record?
Well, I have it here. I think it's in the front, it's in that material you've got here, so it's